The lighting has been an ongoing problem in all my videos, I have realized, and even now it's taken me about 5 minutes to get this right. I do endeavor to have a new setup from next year onwards, and I also have other ways of actually making videos next year in the pipeline. I will go into more detail on that as well as on what we're actually going to be covering in the rest of this video, so stay tuned for the rest of the video. Or to everyone to my channel. So for the ones who don't know me, my name is Shweta. I am the founder and the lead coach of Healthy Dynamics. The company logo should be somewhere over here or there. Now what we do over here is we are a coaching practice, and we help and work closely with healthcare professionals who originate from non-English speaking backgrounds. So in other words, the English is not their first language, and they work closely with patients. They're healthcare professionals who work closely with patients on an everyday basis, and they're looking to build better relationships with their patients as well as their colleagues in order to really enjoy their job and be excellent in their profession, or be seen as a person of excellence in their profession. And in this channel, we look at strategies that help these very professionals improve both their language as well as their communication skills when they are speaking to their patients. So if you do want to learn more about what I do and what this channel is all about, and stay up to date on all the content, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you know when every single video that pops up will be uploaded. And also, if you like this video or any of the other videos, please make sure that you leave it a nice little like. That way the algorithms, which have really not been my friend actually this year, will pick them up and distribute it to the right people. I am not able to believe that it is the end of 2023, or almost the end of 2023. We have literally another couple of weeks. I just feel like this year has completely flown by. And it has been an eventful year for me in many, many ways. I have done a lot of things that I never thought that I would ever be capable of doing, and I have learned so much and learned more about myself. I've pivoted a lot of times. I've diversified how I earn a living. I have picked up so many new skills, like for example, believe it or not, once upon a time I used to hate recording myself on camera, taking pictures of myself. That's still a work in progress. I don't feel comfortable of people taking pictures of me or taking selfies of myself. I hate it. And even showing up on camera used to be a very, very scary experience for me. Which is interesting because since my school days, I have always been very, very good at public speaking. So I would be the ones in school assemblies, I would be the one who would get on stage and really speak, give a very, big sort of speech that is about anything and everything. It would be it a presentation or a recitation or a prayer or whatever it was. I could literally dazzle a crowd in front when it comes to a big crowd, or even a smaller crowd for that matter. But I don't know, the minute a camera gets in front of my face, I get really shy and conscious. But that I have come a long way, I'd like to think, since then. And another bit of a win that I'd like to share with you guys about what's happened on this channel is that we've just hit 2,500 views. Now that may not seem a lot, but I think for me, given this channel started around 6 months ago, I think it's a pretty big milestone, so I'm very proud of that. And thank you to you guys for actually helping me get to those 2,500 views. I'm very grateful for that. Now, before we get started on today's video, I will just give you guys a little bit more of how these videos will possibly be panning out next year. So I will actually be doing some short form videos on my LinkedIn, and I will also be having a TikTok channel or a TikTok page. So how I'm going to structure it is the fact that I will include, I'll be doing more short videos on TikTok and possibly also YouTube shorts. So some of these long form videos will happen every fortnight. And I think the TikTok channel and the LinkedIn Reels will sort of take up more precedence for short form content. And that will possibly also go into YouTube Shorts. So I will leave descriptions of my LinkedIn page over here, which is over here, and you've got the TikTok page over here as well. I've not posted anything on TikTok just as yet, but I will make a valiant effort and start on it next year. and this will be the last video on this channel for 2023. So the next video will be uploaded on the 3rd of January, which is the very first video of 2024 on this channel. And also TikTok will also start up and running at that point. So enough about that, and let's make a start on this week's video and what that's all about. So last week we looked at the importance of transparency when we are speaking to our patients as healthcare professionals, why it's important and why it's vital that we uphold that and really align to that and really sort of adhere to that as much as possible. Now, today we will be looking at how, as healthcare professionals, we can incorporate and also implement transparency strategies when we are communicating with our patients. So again, this will look a little bit into language as well as communication, like all my videos. If you do want to get a bit more detail about what this particular concept is about, that LinkedIn post of mine has also been included over here, so please make sure that you go and check that out. All right, let's get started. So the first thing that we can do in order to really improve our transparency skills in the communication space with our healthcare professionals is, before you have to give any sort of complex information, or if you want to make people aware of what they can expect with something, there is no harm in saying full disclosure or let me be completely open, honest and transparent with you. And by doing this, patients can expect that, this person is going to be telling me what is necessary for me to be better informed. So, for example, like I mentioned last time, say when you are, now I'll use another example of, say, when you are a urologist and you have to perform a vasectomy on a male patient. I know vasectomy can be done in more than one way. You can actually give them the local anesthetic or the general anesthetic. So for example, when, and that's decided by the patient what they want to do. So when the patient says, I just want the local anesthetic, you give them, or you tell them, just a heads up, or just being completely open and honest with you, this is the level of pain that you will experience, or this is the level of discomfort that you would experience. And also tell them that if at any point you are feeling uncomfortable, which is only possible if they are under local anesthetic, just let that person know, let the urologist or the nurse or whoever it is know. So this is one of the ways in which you can really incorporate transparency and openness when you are communicating with your patients. The second most important aspect is that I have mentioned this in many videos in the past, as well as in my content as well, that there is no harm in sharing your own personal journey and experiences when you are, in consultation with a patient. Now, by this, I mean, you may have, say a patient is struggling with a particular condition, you may have gone through that yourself before. And that way, when you, again, it's up to you how much detail you want to disclose about it, but when you do include information about, okay, this is what I experienced, this is what I went through, and this is what worked best for me, that connection with your patient becomes a lot deeper, because they actually see you as a real person, not just this authority figure who's just wearing, fancy clothes or something like that. Just that way they'll know that you're just a human, and you have the same, their problems and your problems are not that different. So that again can be a very good strategy as well. And the other similar experience, really, I'm really sorry, my dog is barking in the background because there's a thunderstorm over here and he doesn't like it. So I really apologize about that. So hope you can live with that. Shush. Anyway, moving on. Where was I? Yeah. So when you sort of mention your own experience or battle with something, there's no harm, and it's not going to make you less of a human or less professional, as people almost always say it. So, for example, if you are, say, in the mental health space, and a patient comes and says to you that I am showing symptoms of postpartum depression, for instance, they've just had a child, and then after that they're obviously struggling because of the hormonal changes and everything else. And when the mental health professional also says that, believe it or not, I have experienced this as well in the past. So, this is how it felt for me. This is the steps that I took to get over it. So that common ground really might bring someone closer together. So that might be a good example. Now, let's look at number 3. Number 3 for the best way in which you can improve transparency in the healthcare space is to really mean what you say and say what you mean. Now, this is a very, very famous idiom, very famous saying, but also it holds a lot of truth. You know, people want someone who is reliable and who displays integrity. So if you tell a patient that you're going to do something for them or find out some information for them or have an answer for them, make sure that you actually follow through with that. And also let people know that let your patient know that I will have an answer for you, or I will have this delivered for you, or given this to you by this particular time frame, or during our next consultation, or let's arrange a follow-up, you know, in 2 weeks' time to see how we're getting on and if I have an answer for you or something like that. So, or similarly, if you're doing something for a patient, or if you say that, you know, something that you will provide for them, in some way in which you would support them, or even some things that you will not do because of the feedback that they've been giving you, make sure that you completely stick to that and follow through with that. So mean what you say and say what you mean. And last but not the least, it's very important to tell patients what they need to hear as opposed to what they want to hear. A lot of the time, especially when patients are very, very distressed, healthcare professionals can find themselves in a bit of a tough spot, bit of a tight spot in, you know, how much should I disclose? How much should I tell the patients? Because, you know, I'm not sure how they're going to take it. I don't know how they're going to receive this aspect of their life, you know, this aspect of their health well, or what the reaction might be. But at the same time, you are here to support them, and you have to be completely honest, completely just laid out all in the open about what has happened, what they can expect, what their health situation is, or anything like that. And if not the patients themselves directly, usually they'll have like a family member, a support person, or a next of kin, or a power of attorney. Someone who's really there to support the patient can really be the person that you really need to be completely open and honest about. Now, an example of this one could be, and it's really funny, I watched this actually in a Hindi movie many, many years ago. So one of the actresses, you know, she was the mother of the lead actor, and she was having, you know, quite a lot of anxiety about her health, you know, and she was not a kleptomaniac or anything like that. She just had a lot of anxiety about her health, and she went and saw this cardiologist, and the cardiologist, of course, you know, did all the tests, and he just said to her, "Oh, there's nothing to worry about. You're just getting scared. You're like, you know, you're just worrying for nothing. There's nothing to be worried about." But then he went and told her son that she needs a bypass surgery. So, you know, so even if the patient is in a bit of a fragile frame of mind, and you really won't be able to tell them that this is what we have discovered, this is what we have found, or this is what we expected, and this is what has happened. You have to say that in a direct yet very tactful, compassionate, and sensitive manner. So that way, you know, even though it's not what they necessarily want to hear, they needed to hear that, and also it will help them as well on how to really come to terms with the changes and challenges and developments that have happened in their health. So that is essentially how we can incorporate transparency, and obviously we'll be doing many, many more of videos similar to this concept next year and moving forward. So if I don't see you guys, this is going to be the last video, as I said, for 2023. If I don't see you before that, I will be posting my last post on the 22nd of December, and for this year, and then after that we'll resume on the 2nd of January. So yeah, I wish you guys a very Merry Christmas and a safe and happy festive season. Don't forget to like this video if you actually like it, and make sure that you hit the subscribe and notification bell. Thank you very much for all your support, attention, and the views and the feedback over this year. I just want to see more engagement though. That can really come a long way in helping this channel grow. So please make sure you leave your comments in the comment box below. Have a very good rest of the 2023, and welcome 2024 with a good mindset, positive vibes, and I will see you next year. Cheers.